All right, so welcome everyone to our MSP Insights series of webinars. This is lead generation for MSPs, strategies that work, and we have three amazing panelists here today. First up is Hannah Logan, the product expert and product genius and overall superstar at Simplesat. How you doing, Hannah?
Doing great. Hey, everyone.
Great. Next is Jenna Chouinard, the owner and founder at JC Marketing, which is a marketing agency specifically for MSPs. And Jenna is an expert in all things marketing, SEO, social media, email marketing, websites, you name it. And I'm sure she'll have some more to say about herself and her company a little bit later on in the webinar. But thank you for joining, Jenna. Great for you to be here.
Thanks, everyone.
Yep. Last up, but certainly not least, is Matteo, the head of marketing at Pronto Marketing. Matteo is a genius as well, like actually all of these panelists. How you doing, Matteo? Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Cory.
All right, so let's get moving. So 5 key benefits, what you're going to learn here in this lead generation webinar. So we're going to identify key challenges in retaining acquiring and retaining clients, understanding SEO for MSPs, effective social media and email marketing strategies, tips for asking for referrals, and lastly, how to track and measure success. Before we get started, just a little bit more housekeeping here, just to make sure everyone knows who Simplesat and Pronto Marketing are. I'll start first. Simplesat is a customer feedback management platform, which basically means we provide all of the tools and services and features for businesses to gather and understand customer feedback. We have all different types of surveys and delivery methods. You can do CSAT, CES, NPS, 5-star. You can embed a ticket in a closed ticket. Sorry, you can embed a survey in a closed ticket notification email. You can send directly from Simplesat. Just today, actually, we released web embed surveys where you can put a survey on your website from a QR code, you name it, and all of the analytics and dashboards for you to understand the feedback and a ton of integrations. We integrate with ConnectWise, BrightGauge, Autotask, Jira, Zendesk, like 50 different integrations, because that's really what matters with a customer feedback management tool, is that it needs to integrate with your system so everything works together. So that is Simplesat. And Matteo, how about you tell us a little bit more about Pronto Marketing?
Sure. Pronto is a web design, website management, and online marketing services agency, primarily focused on MSPs, but we have all sorts of B2B businesses all around the world. And at the moment, we have about 90 employees and more than 1,000 websites, MSP websites that we manage. Cory originally started the company with his dad, Derek Brown, back in 2008. Some of you might be familiar with Derek. Back in the days, Derek had been working for Microsoft for 13 years and saw a big opportunity with the MSPs he was working with that needed help with marketing execution. And so he decided to start that full-time with Pronto Marketing.
And I was living in Seattle at the time, and he said, "You want to move to Bangkok and start a business with me?" And that was pretty easy. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. I think they had some more slides here. So you just kind of went over all this, right?
Yeah. So we cover anything from auditing websites, as I said, web design. We maintain and support websites 24/7. And then we offer marketing services spanning from SEO, link building, content management, and PPC advertising.
Excellent. All right, before we start, this webinar will be recorded. It is recording now, I can confirm. Make sure to use the QA feature to drop your questions. You can do it in the chat, but it can get a little sloppy and hard to see everything if there's a lot of chat going on. So the Q&A feature is best, but please use it. The most value that you and us will get out of this webinar are really going to be from the Q&A, the questions and answers that we do. So you don't wait to the end. You can just be queuing them up at any time. So we'd love to have your questions so we can answer them, and we'll answer them at the end. And stay to the end And anyone who's watching this recording or anyone here now, Pronto will share a free landing page optimization checklist that you can take advantage of at the end of this webinar. Okay, ready to go? Oh,
Ready.
sorry, one more. Get the slides. Here's how you can get the slides. Just scan this with your QR code, and what this will do is send Eric an email. And if you can't use this QR code for any reason, Eric, can you type in your email address in the chat? So basically, if you scan this, send him an email, and then that's how you can request the slides, and he'll send those over to you. Okay, so getting started, we have a few different categories here with some questions lined up, and let's get started. So first category is understanding the MSP landscape. So first question, in your opinion, what are the key challenges that MSPs face when it comes to acquiring and retaining clients? Matteo, do you want to start us off with this one?
Sure thing. Yeah, no, this is a great question. And the MSP industry has certainly unique challenges when it comes to both acquiring and retaining clients. I can certainly speak more about client acquisition, as that's what I do all day, every day. And I would say that the very first challenge in my mind is differentiation. The MSP market is fairly saturated, and it can be tough for providers to distinguish themselves from the competition. And so MSPs often offer similar sets of services and making it challenging to articulate unique value propositions that resonate with potential clients. So how can MSPs differentiate themselves? Well, from a marketing standpoint, the easiest way is through thought leadership. I'll explain. Really establishing your MSP as a thought leader in the industry can be probably the easiest way to differentiate yourself. So how do you do it? You do it through creating and sharing high quality material. That could be articles, that could be white papers, that could be webinars, just like this one, videos, podcasts, anything that you can really use to demonstrate your expertise. And differentiation really is not just about being different. It's about being different in a way that is meaningful to your prospective clients and that aligns with their needs and their goals. So this is probably one of the biggest challenges I see MSPs face when it comes to client acquisition. The second, which is fairly related, and actually very closely related to this, is defining their value proposition. It all starts really with a clear value proposition that resonates with your target market. And you need to explicitly define what are the unique benefits that your services offer and why they are superior to alternative solutions, including both competing MSPs and in-house IT solutions. So this could be your industry-specific expertise, your proprietary technology if you have it, or your superior customer service, or any other aspects that really sets you apart. Obviously, the more you're able to corroborate any of these claims with facts, whether you have awards or anything along those lines, it will make your value proposition stronger. And lastly, I would say the long sales cycles for MSPs. As we know, MSP sales cycles can be long. Decisions around IT services involve significant business investment and are often really made at the C-level at certain companies. And so this can make client acquisition slow and labor intensive, but with the right marketing approach, sales cycles can be shortened as well. And you can really enable and facilitate the acquisition of new clients over time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. And then maybe, so kind of a follow-up to that, Jenna, if you can answer this, how can digital marketing play a role in overcoming these challenges?
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Cory and Matteo. Great points already. And I'm excited to be here and jump in to shed light on my experiences when it comes to working with MSPs for the past 7 years. So just a side note, my agency is located here in Poland, Maine, but grateful to work with a handful of MSPs across the country, see a lot of what works and what doesn't work out there in marketing. And for this question, I will start by saying, if you want marketing to help overcome your challenges, it really needs to be looked at more like a healthy diet than it is medicine. So it's not a one-time fix. It's more of like an ongoing strategy to really boost your presence and identify opportunities for growth. It's something that you really need to manage every day to maintain a healthy posture. And it really starts with making sure it aligns with the overall vision and goals at your company, like Matteo was talking about. So if your marketing plan doesn't align with your sales goals and leadership team, it's not going to produce the results that you want. In fact, recent studies actually show that MSPs with strong sales and marketing alignment achieve a 20% annual growth rate and a 36% higher customer retention rate. So that alignment really is the secret sauce, and it should be your starting point. And in order to acquire and retain those new clients, I believe you really have to have a consistent multi-channel approach to complement that strategy. So I'll be discussing just a couple of leading tactics later in this presentation, but keep in mind the value of making yourself as visible as possible online and in your attempts to reach your audience in multiple channels. The IT industry is very dynamic and it's constantly evolving, but digital marketing enables MSPs to quickly adapt their messaging and align with emerging trends and those common pain points that we see. So very excited to dive more into those points later in this presentation.
Excellent. Thank you. Let's move on to our next, what do we call these topic here? Building a strong digital marketing foundation. This is a really great question, one that I have as well. How can MSPs effectively craft a brand story and value proposition to stand out in a competitive market? I know this is difficult because I just was Simplesat or Pronto or other businesses and just like, what do we do? And it's like, well, you need to have a great value proposition, but it's like, but what is it? Anyways, help us, Jenna. What can we do?
Yeah, absolutely. That's another great question. So I would say one of the most important things you can do as an MSP to stand out in the sea of other MSPs that you guys have is to just really revisit your value proposition and really hone in on the pain points that you solve. So one of my favorite quotes is, there's no more B2B and B2C marketing anymore. It's just human to human, known as H2H. So the MSPs that are focusing on that human side of communication and all of its imperfection, empathy, simplicity, they're seeing better engagement rates overall. I think it boils down to the fact that people just need to resonate with your brand before they buy from you. And even in today's digital age and the way technology continues to transform how we really interact with each other, the human element remains crucial to really build more meaningful connections. And some ways you can do that, Matteo talked a little bit about human-to-human marketing in terms of like newsletters, case studies, video, anything on your website, just more personalized content, no matter what part of the marketing engine you're focusing on. You can use tactics like social media, email campaigns, and your website just to really to your advantage to get that human element message out there. And I feel like a lot of this mindset, it really does start internally at the company. So if we want to feel passion for our work and really grow in that right direction, we need to know like our why and answer the so what when it comes to our marketing. So just feel encouraged to like revisit your value prop this year, your core values, find ways to actually use them in your marketing. And I know you'll be happy with the way people really start to resonate even more with your brand. I think right now, actually, just over halfway through the year, it's a great time to revisit the marketing plan that you set out for 2023 to not only make sure you're on track, but also pivot anywhere that you need to or add new ideas as you go, because a marketing plan should never be a set it and forget it mentality. It's important to really keep a close pulse on it throughout the whole year, really analyze those trends that you're seeing and pivot anywhere that you need to. So perhaps some of you on the call already have this mindset as kind of a key element in your marketing plan, but if not, I would say just start by thinking about what matters most to you, any challenges that you're passionate about solving, identify what makes you stand out, and don't be afraid to really test and iterate your message until you get it right.
Thank you. Those are really great points. We're going to move on to the next topic here for leveraging content marketing. First question, why is content marketing essential in the MSP industry, and what types of content have you found to be the most effective? How about let's go back to Matteo.
Sure. Well, I think content marketing efforts really contribute to a unified goal of driving growth, and different strategies and types of content are often used depending on the specific objectives in place, such as sales enablement versus awareness building, or brand building, or lead generation. And so really, these are two main areas of content marketing that I identified. Content marketing for sales enablement really involves providing sales teams with the tools, resources, and content they need to sell more effectively. And the primary purpose here is to drive conversions and close sales and close deals. This type of content needs to be highly persuasive, showcasing the unique value of your services and directly addressing any objections or concerns a potential client might have. So examples of sales enablement content include service data sheets. This provide a detailed overview of the features, benefits, and technical specifications of your services. You may have case studies as well, detailed stories showcasing how your MSP has helped other businesses similar to the ones your sales team is talking to. Those can also be extremely persuasive. You may have demo videos, basically just showing how your services in action can help potential clients understand their value. And then you have competitive comparisons. And this can really help potential clients understand why your services are superior to competing alternatives, for example. So this is sales enablement content. But then we also have content marketing for awareness building, for brand building, and for lead generation as a whole. And the aim here is really to increase your visibility in the market. You want to build your brand reputation and attract potential clients. This content usually is meant for people that are not at the buying stage yet, but that may be sometime in the future. The content should be, in this case, informative, valuable, and reflect your brand's voice and brand's value. The goal here is not immediate conversions, but rather building relationships and nurturing potential clients through the sales funnel. Example here of this type of content include articles. So regularly publishing articles on relevant topics can help attract visitors to your website, demonstrate your expertise, and provide value to your audience. You may also have white papers and ebooks that you may want to use alongside the articles that you publish on your website that can complement sort of the topics that you're covering through articles. You can either decide to gate, quote unquote, gate these papers or downloadable ebooks in exchange for a contact information, or you can either decide to just keep them in the open and pretty much let everybody access them and use them and share them within the company. And this can also help you really propagate the name of your company. You may also want to do webinars, just like I said before. And lastly, newsletters. I think in 2023, newsletters are still very much a thing, and regularly informing and communicating through emails with your contacts really can help you keep them engaged and over time potentially move them down the funnel and gently nurturing them. So in both cases, it's crucial to understand your audience, obviously, and their needs at different stages of their journey throughout the sales funnel. And the content you provide should always be relevant. So always think of when that potential buyer could potentially be interested in purchasing your service. How far away are they from actually pulling the trigger? Is it 6 months, 9 months? At different stages, really, the content needs to be adapted for their different stage.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. A lot of nuggets of knowledge in there, Matteo. Thank you very much. Hannah, you've been quiet. I got one for you. How can you use customer feedback data to create compelling success stories and user-generated content?
So as we all know, customer feedback data can be like a gold mine. That's how I always see it for creating like compelling stories and also like UGC or user-generated content. So that can actually enhance your digital marketing effort. So number one would be like identify positive experiences of your customers. So in Simplesat, there's an easy way to do that. Review customer feedback to identify instances where customers have had like exceptionally positive experience with your product or services. So look for detailed feedback, not just, positive. Look for the detailed feedback that highlights specific benefits, outcomes, and also transformations they've achieved through your offering or like your product and service. Now, once you're done with that, gather authentic testimonials. So reach out to those customers who have provided you a positive review, use their comment or ask for their permission to use their comment. Authentic testimonials can actually carry significant weight and credibility, especially if they include like specific details, things that they've accomplished, struggles that they've had prior to using your product and service. Also, just like what I mentioned, in your customer success stories, showcase the before and after scenarios. In Simplesat, the customer success stories that we've published so far, we kind of like explain the goals, struggles of our users, because it creates like a different impact. It provides like a clear visibility on, how Simplesat helped out these customers. And also it's kind of like a compelling type of customer success story if you showcase the before and after scenario or data. Also, highlight the quantifiable results, a user feedback that includes quantifiable results or like metric, showcase the tangible benefit your customer gain, whether it's increased sale, improve efficiency, improve customer support, or time save. Anything that has something to do with like quantifiable data, it's already compelling. So you might as well like highlight those, pick the exceptional feedback and to create like compelling narrative on your website and advertise it for marketing purposes.
Excellent. Thank you, Hannah. All right, moving on to the next topic. Harnessing the power of SEO and SEM. First question, could you explain the importance of local SEO for MSPs and how it can impact their online visibility? In case anyone doesn't know how important this is, listen up because Matteo's gonna drop some knowledge here.
Oh yeah, I was muted. So yeah, local SEO focuses, as probably everybody here already knows, on improving the visibility of your MSP in local search results or in search engines like Google and Bing. It's especially critical for businesses really that cater to a particular geographic area or locality, just like MSPs do. And there are some vital sort of aspects to it. First of all is proximity. Managed service providers by nature deliver their services, on site, so at customers' offices and businesses, and usually that the proximity at which clients make their searches online matters a lot in terms of making sure that they know that the MSP that they're reaching out to is within their area. So proximity plays a huge role in making sure that your business will pop up in front of their eyes whenever they make a search in Google. So the closer you are to the searcher, the higher the chances are for you to appear in Google Maps if they're searching in Google Map, or in the Google search results, in the organic Google search results. The other aspect is obviously increased visibility for local searches. So with the rise of mobile search and voice search, there's obviously an increase in the near me queries. So near me queries are essentially IT services near me, IT support near me. And people are searching for services close to their current location, just like I was saying before. And local SEO ensures that when someone in your service area searches for your type of services, your business is prominently displayed. So how do we make sure that your business appears on all these searches? Well, the easiest way is really to create content for your local audience. Now, you could write articles specifically about IT support, IT services, or any of the services that you offer related to the local area in which you offer your service. But in reality, the easiest thing and the best thing to do is to create what we call location pages. And so location pages are nothing else than service pages, similar to your IT support page or your cybersecurity page, but then with a location modifier at the end. So the location modifier is essentially the service area or the town or the county in which you operate and in which you offer your services. And you want to make sure that your location pages, and again, you can have as many location pages as many areas you serve on your website, but these pages need to be optimized specifically for each one of these locations. And ideally, you may want to have a Google My Business profile optimized for all of these locations as well. Obviously, you may only have one physical location. So in that case, your office location will be matched to your Google My Business profile, but then you're going to have a variety of location pages that are all going to be connected to each other. And when a searcher types into Google one of their queries related to the service plus the location, the likelihood of one of your pages appearing in the top search results, in the top organic search results, is going to be much higher. So these are generally the top 3 aspects related to to local SEO. And the last but very important one is also gathering Google reviews. So if you have a Google My Business profile, you may have noticed that whenever you type your service close to your location, you're going to see 3 map results at the top of the organic search results. That's called map pack. And in order for you to appear up there in the map pack, which is basically the Google map brought straight in front of the Google search results, you want to have as many 5-star reviews as possible. And so you really need to solicit your customers, your happy customers, to get as many reviews or to leave you positive reviews on your Google My Business profile, so that whenever potential customers in the future will search for your type of services in your local area, your Google My Business profile will appear in the map pack together with potentially one of your location pages as well.
Thank you. Map back?
Map pack.
New term.
Mm-hmm.
Ross, see you later. No problem. It's been great hanging out with you. Okay, thank you, Matteo. So it's important to get these reviews. Maybe Hannah, can you shed some light on how, this is such a shameless plug, on how Simplesat can help improving SEO efforts and Google reviews?
Yeah, I was actually planning on advertising it as well. So good job, Cory. So just like what Matteo said, it's important to, have a lot of 5-star ratings on your GMB pages in order to be, at the top of the search result. And in Simplesat, we do offer that. So when it comes to feedback, as I've always mentioned, time is essential. So it's really important that, you make it easy for your customers to leave you reviews. We offer what we call to action button. So the call to action button is actually filtered based on the rating and sentiment provided by your customer, because of course, you don't want to route your unhappy customers to your review pages. So you can capitalize on that, set it up, gives your customers an easy way to go to your GMB profile and give you the ratings. So this will help you out, as Matteo explained clearly, when it comes to the ranking in SEO. Another way that Simplesat offer in helping your visibility on the marketplaces would be the feedback widget. So you can capitalize on those, get your reviews posted on your website, because it also helps out a lot when it comes to visibility. Customer feedback can reveal like the keywords, phrases that customers naturally use when describing, the product that they're looking for or services that, they're searching for. So incorporating these insights and positive reviews into your website, into your GMB, reviews and responses can help you optimize your content and be on, one of the relevant results when it comes to SEO.
Awesome. Thank you. I heard a really great adage once. The solution to pollution is dilution. And they were referring to how do I get better, improve my 5-star, improve my Google score. So if you don't have any reviews or you have a lot of reviews or you have bad reviews, it's really important. Get more good reviews and your score will go up.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. We're covering so many great topics here. Now we're going to talk about social media and email marketing strategies. First question, what social media strategies have you seen work well for MSPs in engaging their target audience? How about Jenna? Back to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Cory. Yeah, I'll start by saying social media is one of the most influential spaces to boost your brand. So I actually did a presentation during the pandemic, and the statistic at the time was 40% of the world was using social media. Now it's over 60% of the world. So platforms are becoming a lot more robust. They're competing with each other. There's better organic features than ever on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube that you can start using to immediately start driving more traffic to your website and your business. But with more social media users, it also brings on more noise. So I'm finding the more you post on a weekly basis and the more you encourage your team to really like, comment, share your posts, get that employee advocacy in there, the better engagements you'll see and you won't get lost in the feed. So I would say LinkedIn is the biggest player for MSPs, and it's not just consistent posting to the company page, but also the sales team that's focused on like social selling and direct messages are seeing really good response rates. Recent data from Channel Futures actually says that 87% of people will answer a social media DM over an email or a phone call. So I think it's just less invasive and it's easier for most people. The easier you make it for people to interact with you, of course, the better. And your social media topics should always be short and sweet, to the point, and focus on how technology can save you time and money, the things that people care the most about. But you can see some examples here of posts, just a quick screenshot to show you the variety of content that you can do. And each post should have visually appealing graphic, a really actionable caption to go along with it. I always make sure to link to the website or a free resource in the caption to help encourage the audience to take some form of action and then really analyze that data as well. So as you navigate your social media strategy as a whole, I would say just keep in mind you want to establish your brand as a trusted authority in your industry. That's probably the most important thing. And that will be the best way to inspire confidence and loyalty and be front of mind when people are ready to buy. I know a lot of CEOs that will post at least one social media article a week that calls out a specific pain point in our industry and their thoughts on it. And the reactions and activity from that go a long way, especially if you're consistent with it. So again, I prioritize 1, your personal brand and being a thought leader, and 2, those creative company posts, the LinkedIn contests, raffles, community shout outs. Like if you know some centers of influence in your target market, start engaging with them as well. And I'll throw in there just some platforms to consider. Obviously, it's good to be on a variety of platforms, more opportunities to reach more people. Facebook posts seem to perform better when they are more about customer experience, a little bit more informal and playful. LinkedIn is more about trending solutions, a lot more formal and professional. Instagram is kind of quick facts and videos, and Twitter, now known as X, is more about social listening to see what others are discussing and what's trending, and possibly sharing articles that are relevant and interest you. I know a lot of times local chambers and associations leverage Twitter as well, which is great to interact with them to really expand your reach in the local market. But lastly, on the next slide over there, Cory, I wanted to share a specific example of a LinkedIn campaign, which you'll see here in the next 2 slides, actually. I worked with one of my clients to create a Tech to Protect contest to give away Buffalo Bills NFL tickets on social media. So in order for a chance to win, you had to follow us on LinkedIn, you had to share our posts, and you had to make a comment. We also had a dedicated landing page on our website with the option to double your entry if you purchased a service or solution from us. And we actually use market development funds from one of our key vendors, which is something I recommend everyone looks into if you haven't already. Your key vendors do have funds to help you expand your marketing efforts. It's just a matter of putting together a strategy and executing it appropriately, which I can see actually being a topic that we dive into together another time in this webinar series. But for this campaign, after following best practice to create visually appealing graphics and those actionable captions and posting consistently over a span of 30 days, it generated over 62,000 in sales, 125,000 in pipeline, and over 339 new followers. Actually, Cory, you can jump to the next slide. Placing us at the top as the most followed MSP in our market. So again, there's just a lot of creative things you can do with social media, and I encourage you and your marketing team to just think outside the box so you can stand out even more so. And think about what generates a buzz, kind of where you're located, how you can tie that into your social media. And it really does help bring out that human element and build relationships like we were discussing earlier.
Wow, those are incredible results.
Yeah, we were excited about it.
If anyone wants to improve their social media, call Jenna.
Here to
All
help.
right. That's social media. Now let's talk about email marketing. How can MSPs leverage email marketing effectively and not just be junk spammers?
Absolutely. Yeah. So when it comes to email marketing, it's really a chance for you to deliver those targeted messages to your active clients. It might be your warm prospects or even brand new cold lists that you've generated. And it's really a chance to get right in front of them in their inbox. So again, we all get a lot of emails. So the key is to not overwhelm your list and really provide them with something of actual value. It could be an email about a free cybersecurity self-assessment, or maybe a newsletter with company updates that really impact that customer experience. But the more personalized and creative your content is, the better it will be, and it'll actually stand out in their inbox. So you can see, the different elements here that make a strong email campaign in this password protection example. A visually appealing header image that clearly states what the email is about, not too much text throughout the body of the email, and a call to action to download the infographic to learn more or to reach out to our team for a free consultation. And then depending on the CRM that you use, and I'll share a couple examples here soon, you can create workflows that automatically send a follow-up or capture interest from a prospect based on the actions that they take in your email. And I will say a quick side note, when you're thinking about email campaigns in your mailing list, make sure that you're maintaining good list hygiene. So it really all starts with that. It's very important for the sender reputation of your business domain to keep your list clean. And you can use tools like kickbox.com to scrub your lists on a regular basis, just to make sure there's no bad emails or bounces in there. And then in terms of list size, I would say every MSP is different, but a majority have a minimum of 5,000 contacts that they're nurturing on a regular basis. So of course, the more you put at the top of the funnel, as long as it's quality data, the better engagements that you're going to see. But on the next slide, I share an example from HubSpot that shows the reporting capabilities. So my favorite tools personally are HubSpot and Active Campaigns complement all these marketing tactics that we're talking about, because they allow you to do those custom workflows in that lead scoring. So custom workflows really allow us as marketers to deliver highly personalized content and experiences. By tailoring those messages based on the user behavior, their preferences, their interests, we can create a lot more relevant and engaging campaigns. And we can, of course, generate more leads, which is what we all want. So there are many different ways that you can set up your reporting, and you can make sure they align around your goals. For example, HubSpot has the great option to filter new marketing qualified leads and where those MQLs are coming from, as well as when they move through the funnel to an appointment stage and then turn into a new customer. I just find this data very useful to not only share with the marketing and sales team, but also leadership and service teams as well. And on the next slide, we have an active campaign example, a little bit more cost effective to HubSpot, but showing us that you can even set up workflows for when someone in your mailing list visits your website. We capture that through a unique tracking code. We wait 1 hour, we send an email with a free resource, and we ask if they want to learn more. If the person responds, the sales team is alerted. If they don't, they're put back in the queue for the marketing team to keep nurturing. So over time, you really start to notice kind of who your most engaged contacts are. There could be some that are like falling into the cybersecurity bucket because they're really interacting heavily with your cybersecurity emails. And so maybe you'll tag them cybersecurity and send even more personalized content for their main interest. But at the end of the day, tools like this just provide a lot of visibility. It's kind of the extra set of ears and eyes that you want to help guide your marketing. And again, I'd be happy to share more insights into leading workflows, lead scoring, and templates for MSPs if you're interested in having a discovery call after this webinar as well. So more to come on these different topics.
Great. Question from Scott in the chat. What was the list scrubbing service that you mentioned?
Kickbox.com. I'll drop it in the chat right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Kickbox.com. Awesome. Okay, thank you. We have 2 more topics left. So this next topic, tracking and measuring success. Another one for you, Jenna. What are the key metrics and KPIs that MSPs should monitor to measure the success of their digital marketing efforts?
Awesome. Yeah, so another visual I like to share is the marketing funnel. Cory, you can go to the next slide. Hopefully it helps kind of bring together what we're talking about today. So the top of the funnel is really that awareness stage, and you're telling the world your why, and you're building that trust, that human-to-human marketing that we talked about. You're doing all this through all the different tactics that we're talking about. That discovery phase is when your marketing has really compelled the person to want to explore further and learn more about your MSP, and they have taken some form of action, whether it be like downloading a resource or filling out a form. And then the intent stage is where the sales team starts to take the rein and create urgency and follow up to keep that needle moving, kind of set that appointment, have that discovery call and present. And then ideally the new client phase, of course, is next, and you're on to onboarding. So when you reach the level of having those raving fans, you continue to work together in marketing and sales to drive referrals, explore opportunities for upsell, cross-sell, and really nurture your existing accounts. But one of the biggest questions, of course, is how you're going to quantify and keep a pulse on all of this. And your marketing team needs to understand the metrics have to be actionable and provide insights that inform decisions and really generate ROI. We have to be focused on the ROI side of it. So I will say there's some marketing metrics that can be misleading, kind of distracting or convoluted, but I always recommend focusing only on the metrics that matter, which I believe fall into 3 main categories on these next 3 slides. The first is brand awareness metrics, and then we have marketing qualified leads, MQLs, and sales follow-up. But when it comes to brand awareness here, there are some key growth metrics. For example, on social media, you can look at increase in overall engagements, which are those likes, comments, and shares and profile visits. For the email campaigns, you can look at open and click rates and unsubscribe rates. And for the website, you can look at overall traffic increase, the best performing content, and SEO. And that will give you a strong pulse on if you're resonating with your audience and seeing a steady uptick from your marketing. But I would recommend taking a deep dive into these metrics every 30 days. And on the next slide, we have the number of marketing qualified leads that an MSP should strive for each month. And that can vary widely, kind of based on several factors, including the size of your MSP, the target market, the marketing strategies employed, and obviously your business goals as a whole. So there's no one size fits all answer, but I can provide some guidance on how to determine a suitable target for your specific situation. I would say to definitely start by defining your business goals. So are you aiming to increase your revenue, expand your customer base, or achieve a certain level of growth? And then your lead generation targets should align with these goals. Historical data, you want to look at your past performance, like how many MQLs were you generating in previous months? This can serve as a baseline for setting your target. If you're just starting out, you might want to set a more modest target and adjust it as you gather more data. And then conversion rates, consider your conversion rates at each stage of the funnel. So how many MQLs typically convert into customers? For example, if 10% of your MQLs end up becoming customers, you're going to need to generate more MQLs to hit your customer acquisition targets. And then marketing budget and resources. So your marketing budget and available resources play a significant role. More resources generally allow more effective marketing campaigns and higher lead generation numbers, which is why I do definitely recommend reaching out to your vendors anywhere you can get additional funding to help support your marketing efforts. But overall key takeaways, I would say there's no magic number for how many MQLs an MSP should strive for each month. It's more a decision that requires really careful consideration of your specific business context and your goals. Just keep monitoring your results, analyze the effectiveness of your strategies and be prepared to adjust your targets as needed. I would say on average, MSPs probably shoot for between 10 to 20 MQLs per month based on what I've seen. But again, it's going to vary kind of depending on what your funnel looks like.
Hey, great.
And also,
okay.
Yeah, I can definitely put in there too for sales follow-up. So again, we talked a lot about marketing and sales alignment. The most important thing that we need to focus on is when those MQLs are being generated and marketing is doing their part of the funnel, make sure the sales team is also aligned and they're really closely following up, getting those multiple touches in. If it's on LinkedIn, phone calls, emails, that's going to be the most important part to really get that new customer.
This is just a question from me as I see this. How do you, or what would you recommend balancing automated versus manual sales follow-up?
That's a great question. So with the different tools that we have, especially if you're using HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, those workflows, I would say when you first get that MQL, depending how hot it is, there's different levels of leads. If someone's asking to meet with you, have a consultation, obviously you're going to want the salesperson to call them right up. But I would say if it's someone that's kind of just downloading something or doing some form of action, we can definitely automate that first touch for the sales team and have just send additional resources based on the topic that they engaged with and then kind of go from there. But every team's a little bit different. It's taking probably 7 touches on average, I would say, for people to convert MQLs these days. And it really is a mix of phone call, email, and some automated efforts as well.
Okay. And a question here from Mimi in the chat. Can you define what your MQL is? So maybe just overall, how would you define an MQL and an SQL?
Yeah, that's a great question. So sometimes people say, MQLs might be a new social media follower, those kind of things. And honestly, full transparency, I say it has to be someone that takes some form of action to show some interest in your business. Yeah, they might want to follow your social media. They might want to join your mailing list, but it's someone that's actually downloading something on your website, filling out a form, attending an event. Those are the MQLs, are people that might have the intent to buy. Even if it's not there just yet, they're definitely showing their interest. So anyone that's taking some form of action on any type of marketing channel, I would consider an MQL. And then the SQL is typically when you nurture them enough to get them to the next stage in that funnel to have the appointment and then go from there.
Okay. And then so if I go back to this funnel here, maybe we can't really map it, but kind of SQL is kind of more in the intent and discovery phase. Right.
Yep, exactly. Yep. I would say MQLs are awareness and discovery, and then actually getting the urgency and following up is the intent SQL.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Last topic here, asking for referrals. Sorry, got to ask the question first. Can you share some practical tips on building effective referral programs using customer feedback from Simplesat? How about Hannah?
Thanks, Cory. So building effective referral program using customer feedback from Simplesat can be a powerful strategy to leverage those positive reviews that you're getting from your customers, because this will also encourage other customers, that can advocate your brand. So the goal here when it comes to collecting feedback is not just about improving your product and services, but also, have, if possible, have all of your customers be brand advocate. And that's something that you can actually, take advantage of when it comes to catering or organizing your referral program. So some of the tips, number one is identify your advocates. Review Simplesat's feedback data. So in Simplesat, we offer several reporting data or features that you can actually leverage and use to easily identify not just positive reviewers, but those customers who gave you like a positive rating and exceptional feedback. Number two would be, don't just look for positive reviews or exceptional feedback. Of course, you need to also filter out the data or segment your audience. So use the feedback data to segment your customers based on factors like the industry that they belong to, the job role, or like specific service or like product. Then this info would allow you to tailor fit your referral campaigns, messages, referral incentive as well to be more effective. And number three would be crafting compelling messages. So once you've already segmented the data, you get everything that you need, use all those though to create like compelling message, tailor fit based on the industry that your customers belong to. Utilize the positive feedback and testimonial collected in Simplesat to create like persuasive messages to your advocates or potential advocates. Then next one would be leverage multiple channel, advertise your referral program. In Simplesat, there's also a way to do that. You can actually include the referral program in the survey itself. So we have like confirmation message. I know I've mentioned this before. We also have call to action button. So you can set up a custom call to action button, provide more info about the referral to your positive reviewers on the confirmation page. Then you can also link if you have like a referral form that they can easily access and sign up. So you can actually include that in your survey within Simplesat. Then last but not the least would be highlight referral success stories. I know I mentioned this before, but sharing success stories of customers who have like referred others and experienced positive outcomes, it actually builds social proof and also encourages more participation from your customers and potential customers in the future. Overall, integrating Simplesat's customer feedback into your referral program, you can create a referral process that is really grounded in real customer experiences. It's not just solely based on things that you read online, but it's actually based on authentic and real feedback that you were able to gather. This adds up authenticity and also trust to your program, ultimately driving more successful referral and also positive business outcomes.
Thank you, Hannah. That's a lot that we can do with Simplesat for referrals. Okay. Moving on to Q&A. I have one question here from Jean in the chat. If anyone else has anything else, please ask away. We got 10 minutes. First question, what do you think about using email lists to spread the word, basically cold emailing? I know this is even for this is a tough one because it's it can be spam. It can feel kind of shady, but at the same time, you're a business owner. You want to grow, and it's like, come on. So I don't know, Jenna or Matteo, you have thoughts on this?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, there's a lot of different email campaigns you can do. I'd say it breaks down to one, that kind of cold emailing style, which I would consider more generic messaging about your organization, maybe a newsletter kind of showing an overview of like what you do, and this can go out to prospects. And then you've got the warmer emails for those kind of wish list customers that you have that have been like heavily engaging with you for a while now. They're really heavily interacting, and maybe you want to start to drip some messages with like free resources, special offerings, and try to get them to take that next step. But I'd say overall, that's where automation can really help you. So use marketing to help create like all those different style templates and put them into the system to kind of help that move along. But definitely a mix of cold and warm emails is a good strategy.
Anything for you to add, Matteo, on that?
I would say probably try to look through the cold emails that you are already getting and identify the ones you like and the ones you don't like, and try to emulate the ones you like a little more, and never emulate the ones you trash right away.
That's really good advice. I've always looked at it too, that, you know, we're not going to be, email mindfulness. I don't think we're talking about selling diet pills here or some kind of scam. If you keep the message relevant and you have good lists, you don't want to email people who never could use your service. And if you believe in your product and you're presenting it well, then you actually could be helping someone out. So.
Absolutely.
All right. Any other questions here before we kind of wrap stuff up? All right, I'm going to move on. If anyone has questions, maybe we can squeeze it in while we're doing a poll or something. Okay, so how can we help you? I'm going to launch a poll here. Launched. Everyone should see a poll with a few questions. Question 1, how much did you get out of today's session? Please be honest, because we need to get the feedback for us to be able to improve and make these better in the future. Second question, how would you like us to help you today? So you can say if you want to have a demo from Simplesat or with Jenna, or we don't have Pronto in here? Okay. And would you like to sign up for the next webinar? And if you say yes, then we'll just get you in Zoom and registered so you don't have to keep re-registering on these forms. So I'll leave this open for a minute. Thank you, Daniel. Great panel. Thanks, everyone. Awesome job. We love Pronto and Simplesat. Oh, it's so cute. Thank you. We love working with you too, Daniel. All right. Take care, Daniel. Thanks for joining. Okay. Eric is telling me that Pronto's not in the how can we help you after the poll, because we're going to introduce a landing page checklist next. Okay, let's give this like 10 more seconds. If you haven't answered the poll, please answer it. We love surveys at Simplesat, obsessed with these, but I can tell you that Simplesat surveys are a lot more fun and intuitive than this Zoom one, but not everyone can be perfect. Okay, ending the poll. Right. Next up, okay, Matteo, can you introduce what's going on here in this free stuff that everyone's going to get?
Sure. So here we have a landing page optimization checklist.
Yeah.
So for anybody interested in having their landing page optimized for conversions, you can follow the QR code. You'll be directed to a page, and then you can download the checklist. It follows a 4-step process. We use it internally for all our clients and for ourselves. It's been pretty much battle tested for over a year now. So you should be good to go with this checklist. And if you need any support in optimizing your your landing pages or other pages on your website, feel free to reach out to me at matteo@prontomarketing.com.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, we have reached the end of our journey. I'm sure we'll be together in the future again. This was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. I always learn a lot doing this. Thank you from our experts. If you want to connect with Jenna, just scan this QR code and find her in LinkedIn, or I'm sure you could Google her and find it that way as well. For Pronto Marketing, scan the QR code to request a consultation. And for Simplesat, you can book a demo with our team to go over the product and everything. And just with Jenna, Pronto, or Simplesat, if you just Google this as well, and you can find these on our website as well. So thank you again. Thank you, attendees, everyone, for coming. And thank you, panelists. You did a very great job.